Hi, everybody. I'm making this video because it's basically my interpretation on what is like freedom of speech and what I feel is freedom of speech. I kind of feel like there's a difference when you're talking in terms of like being mean or hatred, really, because one, it's really important for people to have freedom of speech. I mean, I don't want anybody to have that taken away from them, but I just kind of feel there's a time and place of how you present freedom of speech. Like for example, what's going on right now, what happened at UC Berkeley with Milo. People were upset. They were upset on different levels. I mean, they thought that, wow, he should have been there. We took away his freedom of speech because all of a sudden everybody started rioting and whatnot and got angry. But you kind of have to look at the big picture here. First of all, it wasn't just the Berkeley students that were rioting. There was also, they said that there were people that were outsiders. The police said that they were organized because they actually threw Molotov cocktails at the officers and everything like that. Now, I really don't believe a Berkeley student would do something like that. It doesn't make any sense. And they actually, the people, the president of the school, they don't believe that happened as well, because why would a student actually do something so violent? It doesn't make any sense. And second of all, you have to understand the reason why they had the rioting in the first place. Think about it. Think about what's going on in our country right now, as far as people just being like mean to one another. It's just hatred all around. Everywhere we see, there's just hatred. You understand? It's a country now where it's like almost like it's a green light to be like mean or hateful or say whatever you want to people and not even care. I mean, this is what I see going on, which why I think a lot of people are upset right now with the new presidency. It's just a lack of respect for your fellow man. I mean, this is what I see. And then let me give you an example about Milo. Why people don't like him. Okay, basically they had, when it was Twitter, when he was on Twitter, he put this. At first, I didn't even know who Milo was, but I remember this happening, this event. Um, there's an actress. Her name is Leslie Jones, the one that was in Ghostbuster 2. He sent her a direct mail from Twitter saying basically that there were two emails. One, that she looks like a dude. She's pretty much a dude, whatever. Look, a black dude. Okay, she called her that, and then he said that, oh, you have to remember that there was a gorilla in the Ghostbusters 1. Okay, that's what he said. So basically, he implied that she's like a gorilla. Okay, could you imagine you're an actress and then you get this type of email or this type of Twitter to directly sent to you? So she was like in shock. She couldn't believe it. Here she thought, wow, I worked so hard to be an actress, and I put my passion in my work, and then I'm getting these people that are saying just horrible, disgusting things to me. I mean, because that's what it was. I mean, there's no reason for somebody to say something so hideous, unless you have a reason for it. And we know the reason why he did this. I think basically the reason is because he wanted to have attention to himself. He didn't care whether he was like being horrible to another human being or whatever. That wasn't the point. The point was for him to get attention to himself because he's selling a book, and also to have his fellow followers think he's just so fabulous to have such hatred towards people, and they just think it's funny. Well, I don't find it funny, and I find it offensive. And if this is the type of freedom of speech, what is it? Is it really freedom of speech, or is it really freedom to be mean? This is the way I look at it. I think it's a freedom to be mean and hateful and hurtful and horrible to other people. That's really what the freedom is. I mean, because there's no reason just to go for randomly just attack a person for no reason. They're doing a movie for one thing, and then it just wants to bring attention to yourself. And what kind of character does that really show of that person? Somebody that would do this to another human being? What kind of character, really? I mean, do you think this is a nice person? Do you think this is a good person? I don't think so. I think it's a horrible person. I wouldn't support them. And if they went to the university and they wanted to go and speak, I would just not even go see them. That's what I would do. I would ignore them. You understand? But the timing of when he wanted to go to the university this is what's caused the riots. Seriously. I think if it was like maybe a couple of months from now or whatever, if things come down ever, if they do, I mean, if we get this administration in order where they actually, kind to one another, the people, and whatever they plan on doing, that right now it's just causing just a bunch of, chaos right now. But so the timing is important. You have to understand as far as freedom of speech goes. Like for instance, let's give you another example. The Orlando nightclub shooting, okay? When they had that shooting, and the people died, they went there, people went to pay their respects and to mourn. Well, at the same time, they had the Westboro Baptist Church protesting and having signs, and they said that God sent the shooter, okay? So can you imagine you're mourning, somebody, your loved one died, and then somebody holds up signs that says God sent the shooter? I mean, so what is that? What kind of freedom of speech is that really? Isn't that like freedom again to be mean and freedom to be hatred, shows hatred towards another person or people? So that is awful to me. That is not the freedom of speech I want. And I don't see how it does good to anybody. I don't know. I don't see how something like that is a good thing. Seriously. It's going to cause nothing but havoc and more problems in this world. I mean, can't we just be nice to one another? That's all I'm asking. I mean, can't we just be like courteous to one another? Do we really have to be mean? What is it doing for society? Is it really helping us? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it's really helping society. And that's what's a shame is that people have no respect for one another. And this has to change. Or we're just destroying ourselves and our world, and it's sad. So think about that. Think about what you're really doing and why. And try to be a nice person. That's all I ask. Thank you.